had an amazing game idea for a Roblox game, and then absolutely zero skills to turn that game into a reality. Well, I can't relate, but my girlfriend can, and this is her dream game that I'm building. It's a scary game, and it's coming along pretty good. Guys, today we're back in the scary game build, and we're making progress, I guess. Pretty much every room is done, except Containment, which is sort of the spookiest room. Now, we definitely need to change all of the wall textures first, and then I need to remodel these lights today because they're just not good. I've been feeling sort of like I don't know how to say that, like a not good enough type of vibe in like everything I do recently. So I want to just try to first get the containment room done in a nice way. Like I want it to be the best looking room, and then I want to go back and maybe try to fix up some of this other stuff, and hopefully we end up with a super sick game. So first things first, I want to go to the file room, and I want to change all of these materials to a new metal, one that looks older and that just makes more sense for the game. Let's try this rusty metal. It definitely matches the vibe of the game a lot better and doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, so let's keep that for now. To the containment room. All right, first things first, let's just all of these parts don't need a texture anymore. Now, before getting too far into the build of this room, I think I want to change it to be not an L shape. I had an original idea that would have made it like perfect to be an L shape, but I think we just have like a way better idea now. So we're actually going to just make it a nice rectangle because I think it'll work out the best in the long run. Let's meet all these walls back together, and then we're gonna throw a texture onto them and hopefully end up with something pretty cool. Now I am gonna duplicate the ceiling and put it on the floor so we can have a different texture on this floor than every other one in the game. I think that will help make it a little bit cooler of a room. I think we're gonna do a diamond plate metal in like a really dark gray, something like this. And this room might come across a little sci-fi-esque. Hopefully not, but it is what it is. Maybe we'll try this. That looks a little more scary. It's got like scratch marks in it and stuff. We'll try this one for now. Now for the walls, let's see how this one looks. No, not, well, actually, hold on. It's not horrible. It's just not exactly what I'm looking for. How about this one? No, that's a definitely not. I'm not a big fan. This one could work if we darkened it up a little bit. I'm not mad at the vibes. And then for the ceiling, I think we're just gonna do like a tile. A tile could look sick on the floor. Oh my. All right, so texture-wise, here's what I end up with. I don't think it's too bad. The light in this room, I'm gonna change to a completely different light that we haven't seen before. I think sort of the same, but like a box. Instead of a rectangle, I think it'll look a lot cooler. So first things first, we're gonna duplicate this, and I want some sort of a door back here. Not necessarily that anyone could use, but just to break up the room a little bit. I think something like that works. So first things first, when we go to the other rooms in this game, you can tell one thing. The walls are a bit flat. Like there's nothing really breaking up the rooms or anything like that. And that makes it feel just kind of bad. Overall, there's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just not good. Well, it's okay, but not great. So the first thing I want to do in this room particularly is something to break up the walls. And I think we're going to make some little beam things. So let me show you guys kind of what I'm talking about. I'm going to guess something like this. I want them to be about the same size as these. And now we're just going to make sort of a weird shape. So I'm going to duplicate it. Let's bring this one up, duplicate it again, bring this one out. We'll go a little bit bigger on this one. Then we'll bring one all the way up the back wall. We could do two of these, something like that. In fact, what if we did it like this? So everything's not going the same way. That might look kind of cool. Let me figure out this full shape, and then I'll get right back to you guys. I just want it to be cool. Oh, this is a lot better towards the outside here. All right, guys. So I think something like this looks pretty cool. It's just like a weird decoration that we can kind of add in. So now let's go ahead and set our movement to about 5 studs. This is just a wild guess. And really, that's what we should actually do first. Let's line this up back here so we could barely see it. That's perfect. And now we can do 5 studs out, and we can place one of these let's do every 10 studs. I think that would be a little bit better for this room. Just like that. And now we are going to have to move these just a little more centered. So let's move this back down to 0.5 and just guesstimate where the center would be. I'd say about right there. And now we're going to throw some on this side too. And as you can see, when you walk into this, already the room is a bit less flat. I think the back wall definitely needs some work. So I'm going to kind of try to figure something out here. Just more variation, I feel, is what it's needing. So let's try to move this wall. We're going to cover this side, and we're going to change this to match the material of these guys. Let's go a little bit lighter on that gray. I want to match those ones perfect. There we go. That's looking nice, actually. And then we'll throw one on the other side as well. We have 3 of the little, like, I guess corrugations, I could call them. Just like that. That's not too bad. I do hate how this texture ends on a dark thing, so these don't look like they line up, but it is what it is. Now what we could do is duplicate this, and I'm gonna make sort of a frame around this door. I think we're gonna bring all of these out once as well, just for more depth in the build. I'm gonna throw one across the top, one right there, and one right here. Not too bad, man. I think this is a bit too dark. You can't really even see the texture on it. Like a blue-gray would be cool. Yo, I like that. Now, I do think I want to make this a little bit thinner, maybe a little smaller too. So let's kind of drag all of this stuff around. There is a method to my madness, I promise. I have an idea. Also, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see more of, because at the end of the day, these videos are for y'all. I think I'm going to go all the way across the top with this, and we're going to make our movements to 0.25 instead of 0.5, so we could just add to that depth. I want to keep this texture, but I think I want to go with like a coppery sort of look. We have a color called copper. That might just be a little bit too harsh for what I'm going for, though. I think right there looks good. And then I want to put 2 more of these down here. Of course, we don't want them covering the doors, so we'll have to put some on each side. That back wall is not looking too bad, man. Up next, we need to work on the focal point of this room, aka the containment area. So I think I want to have like sort of a step thing, maybe like 1, 2, 3, like 3 steps and then a pad. And then on that pad will be the containment device, the room thing, the circle, cylinder-esque thing. So let's go hop into Blender and start modeling some stuff up. Also, we could maybe put one of these. I just want to see. It might not work. You know, I'm not mad at that, but you could definitely tell how off-centered the door is. So we're going to get rid of, no, we're not. We're going to keep them. A little off-centered isn't too bad, but this makes the room feel too cramped. So we are going to get rid of those 2. Now into Blender. All right, guys, now that we're in Blender, there's a couple things I want to do. Of course, our little step thing, our containment thing, and the light thing. So we need to build 3 things. First thing we're going to do is the light, just because it'll just be super, super simple. Let's do S and Z to scale this down right here. And then let's grab this inner face or bottom face and make it an inner face. Something like this. I think I'm going to drag it up once and then bring it in again. We might make that inner side just a little bit more pronounced. Something like this, I think looks pretty good. And for the light, I mean, that's all it really needs to be. We can add a neon part in Studio and that'll be fine. I also feel like we could make the top come down just a bit right there. And then I want to make something like wires, right? So wires going all around it, looking like they connect to the ceiling. For that, we're going to use some curves because I think that's going to be the easiest way to go. So we'll do a path, go to our curve geometry, and then add a little bit of depth. We'll do something like this. I think that works. Now let's place it right up here and let's make some cool stuff. So we'll start by having this sort of on the outside. We don't need to see that first one. It just kind of connects in. Now we'll grab all of these, then G to move them down, and then these ones got to come back up. This one can go, whoa, not like that. This one can go over here, and then this one back up. I think I want some sort of looping thing like this. Maybe down a little bit further. So I think something like this will work. And now we're just going to duplicate that and then rotate it 180 degrees, throw it on the other side, and we're going to do the same thing and kind of just make a circle. So 45, Shift D, R 45, Shift D, R 45, and there we go. Now we have a bit of a circle. And then the last thing that we need to do is make them all a little bit different. So let's grab this one. We can move this out. We can move this up a little bit, then this up, then we'll grab this one, and we're just gonna go through and make all of these a little bit different than each other. Probably just every other one, because I don't think they need to be too crazy. So now we've ended up with something like this, and we definitely have a little bit of work to do to make it how we need. Like, everything needs to be sort of tucked in to the frame of the box and not sticking out like the corner ones are. Something like that looks pretty okay to me. Now we're gonna grab everything and convert it to mesh, and then we're gonna do X and limited dissolve. That really ruins some stuff. We're not gonna do that. We'll just do it by hand. Let's go ahead and move the light structure up to the top, how it will be, and then let's move on to making the steps. I think I want to start these out with a cylinder. We can dump this down to, like, I don't know, 16 sides. It definitely doesn't need to be 32. And then let's shade smooth, auto smooth, just to get that looking nice. Let's raise the ground up to about here, and we'll bring that down. Now, what I think would be good is a loop cut. Let's do 2 of them, and we're just gonna grab the front set of faces, and now we will extrude those, not rotate, extrude, and we're gonna do the same thing again by grabbing this front set of faces, and we will extrude them again like so. And we could do this 1 or 2 more times, but I think this will be okay. Let's add just a little bit of a design feature in here, just so it's not flat. Something like that looks pretty cool. And now all we have left is the containment thing itself. Let me scale this up. We're probably gonna have it sitting in the ground a little bit, something like this. Now all we need is the actual, like, containment jar thing. Let's move all of this to the side and get started on our containment jar. Once again, starting with the cylinder, shade smooth, auto smooth. Let's bring the top down. And now I think we're gonna do something like this, extrude and scale in. That scale might be a little bit too harsh, something like this. Inset, we're gonna drag it up just a hair, or down. Let's go down, and then we'll extrude this, which will be the main spot that our monster is in. Now we'll do this, and we could bevel both of those. Something slight. Let's grab the top here. We'll inset that, extrude it, bevel it, of course. Grab the top again. We're gonna inset, extrude down, inset again, and extrude up. All right, so I think something sort of like this. The top is a bit too large in my opinion, so let's bring all of this down. I think that would be okay. And then down here, let's bring this down, grab all of these, and we're gonna try to check or deselect. It might, yeah, I figured that is exactly what happened. We want to grab like this, so every other one. Every other might even be too much. Maybe we should do like every 4. All right, we're gonna do something like this, and then extrude along face normal. Something like that looks all right. And then for these, we're gonna just scale them in. Something like that, I guess. Now, if we put everything together, this up here, we'll scale it up. This is sort of what the center of the containment room is gonna look like. However, I think this is just, I gotta fix the top, I think. All right, I think that is a little bit better proportionally. We throw it on top of this. Yeah, it kind of fits. Now let's separate things because we are gonna want to color them in studio with their materials and everything. So let's do P selection on this. And then we're gonna wanna go into here, grab our line select, and fill in the top and the bottom. If we don't, and we make that transparent on Roblox, it's just gonna look really awkward. So I think this looks good. Let's put all this into Roblox, and hopefully it looks pretty good. I had to re-get the containment wires because there were too many triangles, but now they should be all good to go. We already put everything else into the room, just resizing it, dropping a color on it real fast, and then of course a material. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. Let me try to get these sort of positioned correctly. All right, let's just drag those up. This actually looks kind of cool. We are gonna run into a bit of an issue though. Oh wait, that kind of fixes it. Let's bring this a little out this way, kind of like this. I think that looks pretty cool. Let's go ahead and make these, let's try something first. A fabric. I think fabric would be like the best for these cords. Not because cords are made of fabric, but just kind of close, I guess. I think that looks kind of cool. Now, Robo's not on right now, guys, because he lives in like Germany. So time zones kind of crazy. And we also don't have a monster just yet, but hopefully hopefully both of those things will happen soon. I want this to be quite a bit bigger. Yeah, something like this already looks so much better. Let me scale this up too. Bring it down a little. Yes, I like this. And then another thing that we could add in just to make this look a little bit cooler. Let's grab a cylinder, rotate, turn, and we're gonna like line this up with the inside of this. You guys will know exactly what I'm saying here in just a second. Bring that up just so we can see it. Perfect. Bring it in on this side a little bit, out on this side. All right, that looks good. Now let's turn our movement off and just try to like get this right here. Change that to red. Oh yeah, definitely a nice little touch. Now our red box is sticking out a little bit. Let's move that in. I think it would be cool to have a little grid on here just to add some more details. So let's grab this, move it to the side, duplicate it, put one over here, and then duplicate both of those and rotate them just to add some of that detail. This, we're gonna copy its color, paste them onto these just so they're not sticking out like sore thumbs. Not bad. Now, of course, when Robo gets on, there'll be scripted effects and everything. I am going to try to find some particles, and I don't exactly know what else. I know we could grab one of these and make like a path on the ground. That could help. We'll just go all the way back. Would this look cool if we continued it back here? Not really. Let's bring that back here, and then let's duplicate it. We'll put one back here, but it's going to go the other way. So we'll kind of scale this back and then out. I think that looks all right. Oh, man. All right, let's anchor all of this and then go ahead and walk to it and see how it looks. You gotta be kidding. I walked all the way here and the door doesn't work. Oh, this is troubling times. All right, let's just move that to the side. There we go. Look at this, guys. Very dark. We'll have this red light flashing as well. Hopefully some sort of cool thing happening within this and some sort of monster in it. Or maybe, oh, I should have made this broken because then the monster could be running around. Okay, I am gonna have to remake that just broken. So yeah, that'll be the only update for this. And then of course some scripted effects and stuff. So this room gets a bit more scary and more of a storyline to it. But with that being said, other than breaking that containment container, other than that, the map is done. I will be going back through and just adding on those better textures like in the electrical room and everything like that, just to make everything a bit darker, a bit more scary, and a bit more realistic. And then we're gonna have to get into a call with Robo and with Fish Lips to kind of bring this first story map all together. Of course, Fish Lips, aka Kirsten, aka girlfriend, aka her game dream guest. She's the one writing the stories for everything. So she's gonna have to put us in check, let us know what to do. Anyways, that's gonna wrap up today's video. If you did enjoy and you want to see more content like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Later.